Good morning, dear students. Today we are going to discuss about the human male reproductive system in more detail. In previous lecture we were discussed about the male reproductive system and what are the main primary and secondary parts of human male reproductive system. So students, today we are going to discuss about the primary sex. Students, as we very well know that the testis is the primary sex organ. Its plural is testis. Primary sex organ of human male. It is of about 4 to 6 centimeter long and width about 2 to 3 centimeter. Its weight about 8 to 12 grams in an adult male. It is well hanged into a sac-like structure called scrotum sac. The scrotum sac present outside the lower abdomen with the help of inguinal canal, and a muscles helps in hanging the testes, that is called cremaster muscles. Yes students, the cremaster muscles. Cremaster muscles helps in hanging the testes from inguinal canal. Now students, here is a transversal section of a testis, and it is used to define how many types of cells involved in the formation of a testis. So students, the cells that are involved in the formation of testis, as in previous class you will study about the epithelial cell. Yes, it is also made up of epithelial cell. These cells are germinal cells, are commonly called germinal cells because they helps in the formation of gamete. A gamete is a germ cell. That's why we call these cells as germinal cells. Mainly students, 3 types of germinal cells are helps in the formation of a testis. What are they? Just look at here. Spermatogonia and also called follicular cells. The spermatogonia or follicular cells are very advanced type of cells because they helps in production of the spermatids. What? And also their mature form is called spermatocyte cells. Yes students, these are follicular cells. And one thing more about the spermatogonia cells, it also helps in the process of mitotic division. Yes students, because initially a sperm has diploid number of chromosomes which mitotically get reduced to become half, and in which process spermatogonia cells helps to become the haploid number of sets present in each spermatids or sperms. Next to the spermatogonia, interstitial cells, also called Leydig cells. These are lies around the seminiferous tubules in a bunch or in a group. More number of cells are scattered around these are the seminiferous tubules, and these cells perform very important function in the secretion of the male hormone. Yes, and they also secrete an important hormone that is called ICSH. What is the full form? ICSH? Interstitial cell stimulating hormone. What interstitial cell stimulating hormone. The interstitial cell stimulating hormone helps in the production of more and more number of spermatids or sperm. So these are also known to be Leydig cells because they are scattered around the seminiferous tubules in the discs that are lies around the seminiferous tubules. These are the sectional view of seminiferous tubules 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Mainly 3 to 5 seminiferous tubules are present in each locules or testicular septa. Now students, Sertoli cells. Next to the interstitial cell or Leydig cells, the third cell that helps in the formation of the testes are Sertoli cells. Sertoli cells are also called nerve cells. What is the function of Sertoli cells? As we noticed here, these are the Sertoli cells, nerve cells. They help in nourishing the sperm cells or spermatids. Because of why? Because they not only helps in the growth and development and nourishing the spermatids, but also helps in the secretion of a important hormone that is called male hormone testosterone. It also helps in the variation of or act as a barrier with the secretion of a hormone that is called BTB. What is BTB? BTB means blood testis barrier. Blood testis barrier. Yes, students, the BTB is secreted by the Sertoli cells, and BTB helps or act as a barrier that checks over secretion of testosterone, so that the process of growth and development as well as the secretion of the sperms in human male can be in controlled way, in normal way. No kind of abnormality can take place. Now students, the primary sex organ testis is also form of following parts. What are they? It is enclosed by a three membranous structure that is called testicular covering. The outermost is tunica vaginalis, the middle tunica inguinalis, and the innermost, the third layer that has rich supply of blood capillaries is present inside the testicular covering. Now students, testicular lobules. Testicular lobules are septa. There are about 250. How much? 250 testicular lobules are present in each testis, and each testicular lobules contain about 1 to 3. How much? 1 to 3 seminiferous tubule. A seminiferous tubule perform the main function of production of sperm. It means the production of sperm takes place inside the seminiferous tubules, and seminiferous tubule is about 70 centimeter long. Yes, it is 70 centimeter long coiled tube in which the production of sperm takes place. Now students, after the seminiferous tubules, rete testis. The seminiferous tubules opens into a duct that is common. About 10 to 20 number of seminiferous tubules are joining with the rete testis. Rete testis helps in collecting the sperms from the semivestibules and passes it to the further vasa efferentia. Yes, students. Next to the rete testis, the sperm further passes into the vasa efferentia. So, vasa efferentia is also included in the primary sex organ. It means it is the being part of testis. What function perform vasa efferentia? Vasa efferentia collects the sperm from the rete testis and further it passes them into the epididymis. Students, epididymis. What is epididymis? Epididymis is a structurally very small part of the testis, as you can visualize here. This is the epididymis very clearly. This is the epididymis of the testis, which can you visualize very clearly. But students, it is about 6 meter long tube, 6 meter highly coiled, 6 meter and highly coiled long tube. That's why it appears in massive structure and lies at the side of each testis. What function it performs? The epididymis is also being a part of testis and included as primary sex organ. Epididymis further passes the sperm and make a linkage between the vasa efferentia and vas deferens. Yes, students, it helps in formation of a linkage between the vasa efferentia and vas deferens. Efferentia means external. Yes, students, it helps to passage the sperm from the testis, it means seminiferous tubule, to outside into the epididymis, and from epididymis it further passes into the vas deferens. This is the vas deferens, students. It is a long structure that opens a region of common region where here you look the seminal vesicle, pair of seminal vesicle, and here also this walnut shaped structure is prostate gland, and this is the duct that adjoining the prostate gland, urethra, urinary bladder, and you also look here the vas deferens. Further it opens into the urethra. This is called ejaculatory duct. Yes, student, this is called ejaculatory duct. And this is the seminal vesicle. Now we are going about the accessory ducts and glands of the human male reproductive system. So students, the vas deferens, as we very well understand that the sperm is released from the epididymis to passes into the vas deferens, and vas deferens brought or collect the sperms inside the this is the first accessory gland, seminal vesicle, and this is the prostate gland is regarded as the secondary accessory gland of human male, and barbourethral gland, or this is also called Cowper's gland. What? Cowper's gland. This is the third accessory gland of human. So when reach inside the seminal vesicle, it secretes about 70% part of the fluid that present in semen. It releases or secretes some citrate, some other types of enzymes, as well as an important substance fructose. Yes, student, fructose is very essential for the providing energy for the movement as well as growth and development of the sperm. Now, the secretion is also carried from the prostate gland. Prostate gland also secretes an alkaline fluid that helps in maintaining the pH of the semen, and when it released inside the vagina of the female during the intercourse, then the vagina's environment or surrounding is acidic. So to reduce the more acidic environment, there is the addition of the prostate gland secretion. It means alkaline fluid is utmost important, so that there is no harm is affect the sperm. Either about more than, you can say that 5 to 50 millions of the sperms are present in human male semen per ml, but only one sperm is responsible for the process of fusion of gamete. So come on our topic. Further, Cowper's gland, these are you very well appear a P-shaped gland lies both sides of the urethra. These also secretes an alkaline fluid that helps in lubricating the semen as well as lubrication during the sexual intercourse. So students, with the secretion of these, the sperm get converted into the semen, and about 10%, only 10% part is formed by the sperm, and rest of the 90% part of the semen is formed by the secretion of seminal vesicle, fructose, prostate gland, and Cowper's gland. So students, further, this is the urethra, and it is a common urinogenital canal of the human, about 20 centimeter long tube, and it's ended with a region that is called urethral meatus, and its tip is called glans penis, which is bounded by or covered by a loose and mobile skin fold structure, highly fold skin fold structure that is called foreskin. Just foreskin lies or overlap the tip of the penis. It is movable and called foreskin. Thus, students, penis is the external reproductive, you can say that, organ of human male. It not only helpful in the passage of the urine, but it is having urethra as a common canal. It also helps in release or passage of the sperm during the semen during the sexual intercourse, and it is consists of highly erectile muscles. We were discussed about the muscles, of what 3 erectile muscles are present in the penis that helps them strength, so that the passage of the semen can take place very easily inside the vagina. So students, I hope you will understand these topics very well, and in next video lecture we are going to discuss about the semen of the human male in very detail and about the structure of human skull. Thanks students for joining today's lecture.